So, it has been 45 minutes and the bread has grown substantially. This next stage doesn't take very long. I have 3 bread pans. I've greased them with Crisco. You could also use Pam or margarine or butter or anything you like. Now we're going to push this down to release the air. Some air will remain, and that's fine. You just want to get rid of as much as possible. Now we're going to take this and divide it into 3. So I'll just wedge out 3 pieces, trying to make them as much as possible the same size. This one looks a little small, so I'll pull it out. Now, it's going to stick a little. The top of the bread is going to be fairly dry. The bottom of the bread will be a little sticky. Just use the sharp edge of the knife to scrape it up. Now, this is probably dry enough on this surface that I can pat it out and roll it without having to lay anything down. Sometimes, if it's a little bit moister, I may put down a little bit of flour, but for today, I'm just going to fold it. Now, I don't take a tremendous amount of care to make my cylinders. There's one. You can fuss around with them a little bit more if you want to. There's 2. Here's the 3rd one. Now, so my cylinders are not absolutely perfectly the same. This one's a little on the small side. This one's a little large. This one's about right. So, but that's just part of homemade bread. As long as they're reasonably close in size, that will be fine. I do actually have one pan that's slightly larger than the other 2. So I'm going to put the largest piece of bread in here. I'm going to cover this up with a cloth. And again, I'm going to leave it for another probably 35 to 40 minutes. And at that point, it will have doubled in size and it will be filling up the pan. Now, it's warm enough in the kitchen that I'm just going to leave it here. Sometimes though, if it's winter and the kitchen's a bit cold, I will turn the oven on to about 200, put the bread on the oven, and let the residual heat from the oven help to keep it warm and grow that way. That's just insurance against having the chill air. But right now it's springtime and it's not a problem. So, you can leave that, and we'll come back in about 40 minutes, and I'll finish it off and put it in the oven. Okay, so this bread has actually been rising longer than the 45 minutes I intended, but that's fine. This is about the size that you would want it. Any bigger, and it would have too much air in it. Now I'm going to put it into a preheated 400 degree Fahrenheit oven. I think that's 200 degrees centigrade if that's what you're using in Korea. It needs to cook at 400 degrees for 10 minutes, and then you turn it down to 350 degrees for another 25 minutes. When that's done, the bread should be cooked, and at that point you can take it out and let it cool and devour it. Okay, so I'm going to pop it in the oven now. Now with the oven, you want the bread to be close to the center. There should be comfortably room for 3 loaves. I hope ovens in Korea are the same size as ours, or pretty close. Okay, so 10 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and then 25 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, Grace, here we are at the end. So, you see our 3 loaves of bread. Here they are. See the golden color? This is exactly what we want. It will be a little bit lighter if you're using just white flour, and a little bit darker if you're doing 100% whole wheat. Now, there's a couple of burnt spots. I forgot to turn the oven down after 10 minutes. Fortunately, James remembered, but by the time he remembered, it had gotten a little dark. However, it's not the end of the world. So when you cut into the bread, after it's cooled for about 20 minutes, you can cut into it, and it will have this lovely texture, which is what you're looking for. If you cut into the bread right away, by all means go for it, it'll be delicious. But it will steam, and any part of the loaf that is left will get quite dry. It's worthwhile letting it cool for 20 minutes if you can stand it, and then eating it when it's cooled down to lukewarm. Okay, anyway, I hope that you'll give this a try. I look forward to hearing how it worked out. And yeah, please enjoy.